Today I'm going to walk you through setting up a Discord bot for managing your roles with your users. This is a common use case when you have an e-commerce site or some product that you sell and you collect payments through Stripe or Teachable or Patreon or maybe some other mechanism, and you want to associate payments or subscriptions that users make to specific Discord roles. So the flow is when a user purchases a product, you're going to allow them or automatically give them access to specific Discord channels in your Discord server. For this setup, I'm going to be using a site that I've been working on recently called Quant Alchemy. This is a product that Crown, if you're familiar with Crown, sells through Teachable. And so the link there is going to be through Teachable where the payments are collected. And what we want to do is we want to automate adding users to specific Discord roles when they purchase a course through Teachable. So I've already configured a lot of this site, so I'll be using the site, a development site that I'm working on currently, running on my local host here, and I'm going to walk you through setting up the Discord server. This will be generally useful for anyone, which is obviously why I'm providing a video for it on how you could set up a Discord bot to do these processes. I won't include the code for doing the OAuth flow or actually invoking Discord APIs with your tokens. Once you have your tokens, I've already completed all that. That potentially could be another video in the future, but for right now, we're just going to be covering how to actually configure this Discord bot. And so I've got the site. I mentioned that I've already got the site. We're looking at the site right here. I've got a test user, which is just another Discord user that I created. This user will be the user that is actually the user that I'm using to log in. That'll be associated to the login on the site that I'm interacting with. And then I have my admin Discord server up here as well. So the site itself is already set up. The work that I've done so far is to create a Discord server. I haven't done anything else with this server other than setting up a Discord server. And then I've also navigated to the developer portal. And now that I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and let me make sure I show that. I'm going to be using the developer portal with my Discord admin user. And so you can get to this developer portal just through discord.com/developers. And then from there, you'll have applications that you can select. This will essentially be your landing page. You'll see I have a few apps already. I created this demo app through this button, new application. I didn't do anything else with that. So this is the starting spot for that. After this video, of course, I'm going to delete everything because I'm going to be showing some keys that in the real world you would not want to be sharing with everybody. But for the purposes of going through this video, I'm going to go ahead and create all that so you can see how everything works and how it's all connected. And then I will delete the demo server that I created in Discord and also the demo application that I've created. So let me make sure that I have everything here. So I've already talked about navigating to the developer portal. I've created the developer who created the Discord application within the developer portal. I'll just note here, there's a lot of areas where you can add your background images and your app icons. Of course, in a real application, you're going to want to do that. I'm not going to do that for this purpose because this is a demo. Once I've set up my Discord server, I just want to verify a few things because what I'm noticing on my admin panel is that I can't see the members, and so that's just one of the Discord server settings. So it's under members. If I go to members, this is an easy just switch option here. So now what I'm going to be able to see here when I come here, I'll be able to access my members here. The reason I want this is so when I'm going through the process of demoing adding roles programmatically and not adding roles, you'll be able to see that here. I think there's one other thing that I didn't create, which I probably should have set up, but I'll just do that real quick, is the server settings. I don't think I set up any roles. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and create some. Again, these are just going to be test roles. So I'm just going to name them role A. I'm going to give it a color. And then up here, there's a button to add more roles. And so I'm just going to click add role B. Oops, B. And then we're going to do one more role. And this is going to be role C. Okay, now I have all of my roles. We'll have to come back to this roles page in a little bit. But one thing, while I'm here, I'll just mention the hierarchy of these roles matter in Discord. You definitely want to make sure that you have roles that you want managing other roles or have permissions above other roles. You want to make sure that they're ordered specifically in this list so that the role with the highest level of permissions is at the top. That'll come into play when we install our bot. So let's go back over to the demo application. I've already created the application. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an OAuth flow here. The reason we're creating an OAuth flow is because we want when the users, given the users may not have joined our Discord server already, and so we can't assign roles to users if they haven't already joined the Discord server. And so we're going to create an OAuth flow. So one, we can identify that user. That's going to give us a link between the Discord user, their actual account that's been verified through Discord. We're not making up that verification. It's a verification that an authentication flow provided by Discord to confirm that they're actually the user that they say they are. And then we've already done an OAuth flow on this particular website with Teachable, but you might have done that with Stripe or Patreon or whichever other provider you're doing. And so that gives us the link between saying that this specific user in our customer platform, Teachable in this case, is linked to this specific Discord user, and those are provided by OAuth flow mechanisms. So that's why we're going to go ahead and create an OAuth flow here. After I've created this app, I like to turn off this user install here, just so it can't be installed if somebody gets a link. I've never used that, but obviously if you had a public bot, that is something you might be interested in, so other people can just grab it. We're going to move down to the OAuth flow section here. If the save changes. Now we're going to go to the OAuth flow. So at this point, I'm also going to just make sure that you can see the things that I want you to see. So I'm also going to show you the code because I'm going to be saving some of these keys here. And so these are the values that I was mentioning. You would not want to be showing these to users, but I'll be deleting these all after the fact. The base URL is just the API for Discord. If you're going to be a developer interacting with the Discord API, you're going to use that. The redirect URL is where, when the OAuth flow is executed, where they'll be redirected back to. So then after you receive that request, you can then handle adding them, giving a user the specific roles that you want to give them, essentially managing the roles through the bot. I'm using localhost here. That's because I'm in a development environment and I'm just testing locally. In the real world, you're going to want to use your www.brandname.com site or whatever site you have as your redirect URL. So, all right, moving on. So there's no secret when you initially create these bots. And so it says reset secret, but we're just going to, it's also creating the secret. So yes, I'm going to regenerate the secret. And then I'm going, since I have my account protected with two-factor authentication, I need to provide two-factor authentication here. And I had this up before, but give me 1 second. So, and again, I'm not concerned about these codes because they expire and I'm going to delete the bot anyways, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to copy that. This is the client secret. And I'm going to paste that in here. I'm going to copy the client ID, and I'm going to copy that there. And then I'm going to add the redirect. So this is the redirect that I was just speaking about. Once I add this redirect here, this is where I'll be handling requests from the OAuth flow process. After Discord either authenticates and approves or denies a user, they're going to send me back a request, and that's where I'm going to handle that request. I need to make that, save those changes. And then for this particular OAuth flow, as I mentioned, you want to be able to, you could just you could just manage roles, which is going to be, I'm going to click this one because it's the one, where's the, oh, the identity. Yeah, so we want the identity and we want the ability to join the guilds. So joining guilds is the same thing as actually joining the server. The identity is going to be able to give us their email address and their user ID. Again, the reason we want that, you don't necessarily need this join guilds, but you wouldn't be able to manage them if they haven't already joined the server in that context. And so we're doing that to just make sure that they've joined the server, and then we can give them roles. Otherwise, you'd have to change your flow and say, hey, go join the server first, and then come back and link your roles. And so we're going to select the redirect here. This URL, you can just put your client secret in there, client ID in there. This is a public URL, so there's nothing proprietary here. If you're familiar with OAuth flows, you might know off the top of your head how to create that already. But the one thing that you just kind of want to keep an eye, you want to look at, and I did double check, but I just want to make sure you can see VS Code. You can. Okay. So you want to just double check that your scope, which is essentially your permissions, is what you expect. So in this case, we're going to ask the user to give us permissions to let us join them to the guild and also see their identity. If they don't do that, obviously the flow is not going to work. They're also not going to get access to the Discord roles that they need. And so considering this is going through a process of they purchase something, they want access to those services in those specific channels, these should be permissions that they are willing to give us. And then we'll talk about this a little bit more later. And then I'm just looking here. I didn't copy this server ID, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the server ID here and make sure that I've added the server ID. The last thing that we're going to need is a Discord, a bot token, so that we can do things programmatically. However, before we leave this OAuth page, we need to create another URL generator, and this is going to be the one that actually allows us to install the bot into our Discord server. So this application that we're creating isn't going to do anything unless it actually exists in our Discord server. And because it is a bot, we're going to click the bot here. That'll open the bot permissions, so we can assign specific permissions to this bot. And in our case, we want to be managing roles. And so this particular URL we do want to copy, and we're going to actually open this into another window. And before I navigate this, I'm still showing VS Code, so I'm just going to hide my VS Code for a second here. And so what you'll see is it says continue to Discord, and then if you look over at my admin Discord here, they're giving me essentially another kind of OAuth type of flow here to install this bot into my server. And so I want to add the bot to the server. It's going to allow create commands, and then the server that I want to add it to. This is important. Obviously, you want to make sure I've got some other play servers that I've done here, but you want to make sure that you're installing it in the correct server. I've created a specific server for this called demo, so I'm going to continue. It's going to ask for confirmation of the permissions that I want to give this bot or this application. Of course, I'm doing managing roles, so I'm going to authorize that. I might need to put in my authentication again. Nope, looks like food is what they're looking for. More food. And then it's just going to install the bot, go to demo. So I can go ahead and close this. Now that I've installed the bot, one way that you can confirm that the bot has been installed is you can look under your integration. So if you go to your server settings here, and then make sure I'm showing the right things, you scroll down to your integrations, you will now see that the bot is here. So you can manage the bot from here if you want to. If you forget that you have bots installed or something like that, that's where you can go to look. But let's go to see which ones you have installed. But let's go back to the members channel, because this is where we're going to want to look and see where new members are. The bot's actually going to show up as a bot user, And then this goes back to the roles piece that I was speaking about. So this bot, in order for the bot to be able to manage users, it needs to have the correct level of permissions. And so under server settings, under roles, you'll see that it shows up at the very bottom. In this case, because I want it to be able to manage all these roles, I need to make sure that it scrolls up to the top. I will say I haven't confirmed this. I ran into this problem in the past, and it really confused me that that was how you configured some of the permissions or permissions of the roles was a specific order. And so I don't think that's changed. And so because in my case, I just want the bot to be able to manage all these roles, I'm just going to make sure that it's above all these roles. And then we're going to go back to the members window, because this is when we start testing adding users, that's where we'll be again. And so this window can be closed, and now we're back on the OAuth 2 page of the Discord developer portal. And so let me I am showing everything that I think I want to be showing. Nope. I want to make sure I'm going back to VS Code, because there was one thing that we didn't add yet. And the one thing that we didn't add yet was the bot token. So in order for a developer to be able to make requests using the bot, you actually have to have a secret token, essentially, to be able to communicate with the bot. And so let's see, let's see where we're at here. We've installed the bot, and now we're just going down to the bot itself. And so all we need to do here, so this is your bot. Again, you want to make sure that you update these icons so that when a user goes through these different flows, and I don't know if they, when they go through these different flows, a user's going to see that icon. And so you definitely want to brand it for your specific brand. And so now we're going to reset this token. Again, it says reset token. There's no token since we just created this. I do have to put in my authentication code here to get this going. So 337, and now I have this token. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste this into code. Again, where other people would not be able to see this, but again, we'll be deleting all this afterwards. So now everything at this point should be fine. I'm going to go back. There's one piece that I didn't add. And so I created all those roles. Let me make sure that, I think I can just leave it here now. So I created all these roles in Discord, but I didn't actually add them to my code. So I do have this map essentially here in code. And so what this map is doing is essentially, it's just, you could do a relational database or any kind of database that you want. You could just in a database have whatever resource you're interested in. In this case, we're talking about course IDs. These are public course IDs, so we're not giving away any specific information here. You could see these course IDs if you just went on to Teachable and looked at the public page for the list of courses. So, but the idea is here, you have your resource, in this case it's course IDs, and you're gonna map those to roles. And so in this case, that's we have a one-to-many relationship. So you could do that in a database if you want. If you're changing these things frequently, you might want to do that in the context of the web application. You might want to actually have that kind of information available for an admin to be able to use. If you don't change these very, very much, just having like a hard-coded map in code is really not that big of a deal. It's easy to manage and easy to update. And so essentially that's what we're doing right here is we have a course, and then we have a number of roles that could be assigned to a particular user based on the course that they're based on the course that they have access to. And so what I didn't do was since I just recreated a new server here, I didn't copy these role IDs in here. And so what I'm going to do, and you can't see this because the VS Code screen is covering it, but I'm just on the roles page of Discord, and I'm just copying those role IDs, and I'm just going to paste them in here. I'm not going to bother trying to change around my views so that that's more clear or visible, I should say. When I had this, I can probably show it. So I've added these here. And so just to kind of talk through how I've set this up right now, just for testing purposes, you can see I've got this Let me hide. Oh, perfect. And so what you can see here, make sure I'm looking at the same screen, is you can see that this particular user has, since they've logged in through Teachable, and we know through the authentication flow what courses they have access to, that's what we're displaying on the screen here. So in this case, they have access to the Quant Prime AI course, the Trade Like a Quant course, quantum wave bands, and the HPDR ecosystem. In code, you can see we have more courses than that, but the user doesn't have access to all those courses. And so I only created 3 roles. And so what I've done here is I've added role A to the Quant Prime course, role B to the quantum wave bands course, and then role C to the Crown VMP course. And I want to point out this particular user does not have access to the VMP course. And so you would not expect that user to get those roles when they link their account. And that's what we're going to see here. So let me make sure that you can see the whole thing here now. Okay, so now what we're looking at is we have the users Discord, which you can see they don't have access to that server that we created, the demo server. While I'm on this page, when you're looking at the roles here, you can just click on this. I think you might have to have the developer enabled under your admin user settings. And then you can copy the role ID for these roles. And so I just copied that to paste it into VS Code. I want to go back to the members list because that's where we're going to see all the changes. And now that we are looking at the website, what I can do is let me make sure I saved everything. Saved. Okay. And then I should just be able to link the account. You're going to see this is the OAuth flow for Discord. Now, this is the page where you want to make sure you have some of your images set up. This is my user icon, which this is a test user, so I haven't provided any icons for that. But the one on the left is actually your brand icon. So that's where users will see some branding. And so you definitely want to make sure you have an icon there. Just give some more credibility to this. So I'm going to authorize this. Once it's been authorized, the owner, or the application, web application here will have access to my Discord user to be able to join them to servers. In particular, the server that we want to join them to is this demo server, and then also assign roles. Or excuse me, not assign roles. See their identity so I know who the user is. The bot is actually what allows them to assign roles. And so in this context, you see we've updated it so they can unlink their account. If we look over on the users Discord here, you'll see there's a notification from Discord because I've programmatically added them to a server. They get a notification from Discord that, hey, an application demo app has added you to the server demo. And so if they didn't, if they gave their access to somebody and then somebody was like continually adding them to servers because they gave them that permissions, they didn't want them to have access to that, they can actually address that themselves. If they look under their own authorized application, so I went under the settings page, authorized applications, and you'll see all the authorized applications you have here. So I have some from things that I played around with. Again, this is just a test user, but if they wanted to revoke access, so the previously authorized application didn't have access anymore, they can just manually do that themselves. A nicer flow for the users is to provide this ability to unlink it automatically. And so that's what we've provided here. And the other thing is they now have access to the server. So now we're in the server here. Again, this is a test server. We're in the demo server. I haven't added anything here. Excuse me. The unlink, the unlink actually is going to just remove their roles in this context. It's not going to actually remove them from the server. It will disconnect them from the bot, and then it will also they will stay in the server though, but they can manually disconnect themselves from the server here if they want. Excuse me. Just drink a bit of water real quick. So over on the admin panel here, you'll see that a new member was added because they didn't originally exist. So we added this test user, and you'll also see they have the two roles. And so these are related to the two courses that this individual had access to. They had access to the Quant Prime, and also the quantum wave bands, but they didn't get access to the VMP role, which was role C in this case. And so the last thing that I'll show here is I can unlink this user's account, and after I unlink this user's account, you'll see they lose access to those roles. Of course, we, as the owners of this information, we also want to handle that type of flow through webhooks. But this is an easy way to be able to set everything up. So for one, the user has some control if they want some control over that, and for two, you can test it yourself before doing it through webhooks. Obviously, a lot of times people use webhooks to kind of manage these type of things, but then you need to be able to programmatically trigger your webhook or create your webhook to test it. And sometimes if you want this flow, again, in my opinion, it's a better user experience, but it also gives you, as the developer of this, a quick way to be able to test this quickly before you move on to testing it with webhooks and that. So I believe that covers everything. One thing I didn't show is in my VS Code setup here, you could actually give the user multiple roles. That user has removed their access, removed the link. And so I'm just going to, as an example with this code, apply the role A and role C to the course that is Quant Prime AI. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to do that just to show that when you're managing it this way, again, it's pretty easy. If I have a new role, I can just put it in here and then add it to the specific courses that are would be relevant. And so let's hide this again and go back here. When the user links their account, you'll see currently they have no roles that they're going to be authorized, or they're going to give me authorization. They're now linked, and you can see they now have role A and C. And so you can apply this to multiple roles. Again, if you need to do this in the database, that might be the way you want to go. But this is a pretty simple way to do if things are fairly static. Okay, I hope that was helpful and you found it interesting, and thanks for watching.